After potting this red, 1 year. Old Yan Bingtao had already stepped 1 foot onto the champion's podium. He was ready to raise his fist and celebrate, but the moment his hand came up, he pulled it right back down because he knew very clearly the match was not really over yet. This was the first Masters final of Yan Bingtao's career, but the Masters has never been a place where you can win just because you want to. After all, only the top 16 players in the world are allowed to be here, and the man standing in front of him just happened to be John Higgins, the tactical master everyone recognizes as one of the toughest competitors, one of the hardest to wear down, and one of the best at dragging you into a defensive war. After 17 brutal frames, Yan Bingtao had finally reached match point. At that moment, only the last red was left on the table. Any normal viewer would think the title was basically secured, but unexpectedly, he ended up snookering himself. Even though he managed to escape it with a successful jump shot, the situation instantly became unclear again. On one side was a 1-year-old rising player desperate for the title and only 1 step away from the finish line. On the other side was a veteran who knows better than anyone how to slow things down, how to grind, and how to drag his opponent into a defensive swamp. Would it be the rise of a new king, or would the old warrior refuse to die? Suddenly, nothing felt certain anymore. At that point, Yan Bingtao was leading by 44 points, while only 35 points remained on the table, which meant if Higgins wanted to turn it around, his only chance was to force mistakes through snookers. What followed was a battle around the final red. This was no longer an ordinary safety exchange. This was a head-on clash between experience and willpower. This was a 21-year-old player right at the door of a championship, holding off the final siege from a tactical master. And that is exactly what makes Higgins so terrifying. He drags you into the rhythm he feels most comfortable in, then wears you down little by little until you break. But after a 3-minute defensive exchange, what no one expected was that Higgins was actually the first one to make a mistake. The hunter had finally become the hunted. The chance was there. Yan Bingtao did not hesitate. The red dropped cleanly into the pocket. In that instant, it felt like the entire arena exploded. The emotion in his eyes was almost impossible to hold back, but he still forced himself to stay calm because he knew the match was not really over yet. That red was not just a huge counterattack. It felt more like a door that Yan Bingtao tore open with his own hands. And on the other side of that door was not match point, but the championship. At that moment, what he won was not just a Masters title. What he won felt more like a statement from the new generation of Chinese snooker to the entire world.